Final update. She demanded, chores are 50-50, I said, then so are bills, she laughed. Nice try. Bills are the man's job. I replied, fine. The next day, I cancelled all the utility auto payments for my account. Her first clue was when the power was shut off in the middle of her favorite show. Defeated and unshowered, she went to her parents' house. This, I knew, was her attempt to rally her allies and launch a counterattack. I was ready. That evening, her father called me. He was a reasonable man, but he was also a protective father. He was angry. What the hell is going on, Mike? He demanded. Sarah is here in tears. She's saying you've cut her off, that you're trying to kick her out. With all due respect, sir, I began, my tone polite but firm, I am not kicking her out. I am simply asking her to participate in the financial reality of the life she wants to lead. I then calmly and without emotion walked him through the conversation. I told him about her chore chart. I told him about her demand for a 50-50 split of labor and her simultaneous refusal to contribute 50-50 to the bills. I told him her exact words, bills are the man's job. There was a long pause on the other end of the line. I could hear him processing the information. She really said that? He finally asked, the anger in his voice replaced by a note of weary disappointment. She did, I confirmed. So I agreed to her terms. I am now her equal partner in the chores. I just expect her to be my equal partner in the finances, the power, the water, the internet. Those are the costs of the life she was enjoying. I have simply transferred the invoices to her. He sighed, a heavy, tired sound. I see, he said. I will talk to her. That conversation was the turning point. Sarah had expected her father to charge in and fight her battle. Instead, he was confronted with the undeniable, embarrassing hypocrisy of his own daughter's position. The final brutal act of this drama was the mortgage. The mortgage payment, the single largest expense of our lives, was due at the end of the month. It was also paid directly from my account. A few days before it was due, I sent Sarah a simple, polite email. It contained a PDF of the mortgage statement. The subject line was our 50-50 partnership. The body of the email was short. Hi Sarah. As per our new arrangement, this is your half of the mortgage payment for the month. It is due on the 1st. Please let me know how you would like to transfer your share to me. Thanks. Mike. She never replied. The 1st of the month came and went. I paid the mortgage in full from my own account, as I always did, but I also documented her non-payment. It was the final critical piece of evidence I needed. She had not just refused to contribute, she had willingly defaulted on her half of our agreed-upon partnership. Final update, it has been 6 months since my wife's favorite reality show was interrupted by a dose of actual reality. The divorce was finalized last week, and the conclusion was as clean and as logical as a well-designed system. After her failure to contribute to the mortgage, I filed for divorce. My case was simple and irrefutable. I wasn't arguing about emotions or infidelity. I was arguing about a contract. I presented our marriage as a partnership, one in which she had unilaterally and explicitly changed the terms and then had immediately defaulted on her own new terms. My lawyer, a sharp, no-nonsense woman, was brilliant. She framed the entire divorce around the chore chart. She presented it in court as Exhibit A, the renegotiated partnership agreement. She then presented the utility bills, the disconnection notices, and the mortgage statement as evidence of Sarah's immediate and total breach of that agreement. Sarah's lawyer tried to argue that it was an informal domestic dispute. He tried to claim that the bills are the man's job comment was a joke, but it was too late. Her actions had proven her intent. The judge, a woman who I suspect had little patience for entitled hypocrisy, was not impressed. The final divorce decree was a monument to logical consequences. Because the house was solely in my name, and I was the only one who had ever contributed to the mortgage, it was ruled as my sole and separate property. Her claim for half the equity was dismissed. She was awarded no spousal support, as the judge ruled that she had, by her own admission, refused to be a full financial partner in the marriage. She walked away with her personal savings, her car, and nothing else. The last I heard, Sarah is living in a small rented apartment on the other side of town. The rent, I'm sure, is a constant and unwelcome reminder of the realities of a true 50-50 partnership. She has to pay for her own electricity, her own water, her own internet. She is living the modern, independent life she claimed she wanted. I suspect it's not as glamorous as she imagined. As for me, my life is quiet and orderly. My house is clean. I hired a cleaning service with the money I'm saving on not having a wife. My bills are all on autopay. The system is stable. I don't hate Sarah. I just see her as a flawed system, a piece of faulty code that I had to remove before it corrupted the entire network. She demanded a 50-50 partnership. And in the end, that's what she got. She got to keep 50% of the people in the marriage, herself, and I got to keep 50%, myself.